Hi all. So today we're gonna be working on rebuilding a guitar. This is a guitar I bought a very long time ago. I actually bought it at a thrift store. Um, got it for like $10, and it was a great little playing thing to carry around. I think they're scaled to 3/4, scaled down to 3/4. So it's not like a full size guitar. But my son has been bugging me to build him a guitar, being that he saw the one that I built. So we're gonna try to repair this neck because I used to think that this was a complete lost cause. And eventually I ended up buying another neck for the guitar to rebuild it. But what ended up happening is that the neck heel, this one is slightly smaller than this one. This one is the size that it should be, and this one's a little smaller. So what I was thinking of doing is attempting to fix this. Now, what is wrong with it? What happened to this neck? Well, back when I started getting into guitar building, I attempted to add a roller nut on this guitar, okay? Which I thought would give me better tuning stability. Problem is that the guitar, the nut used to start here where I drawn this line. The problem was that I went ahead and cut out more than I needed to off the fingerboard. So when I drilled the holes and installed this, what ended up happening is that the guitar wouldn't tune. So I botched this, trying to make this a better playing guitar. And I never got around to fixing it until I had this other neck. Now the problem with this neck is that it's the same scale length, and it's gonna fit on the guitar that I need to fix up, but the heel is just too small. And actually, let me see if I can show you guys. So as you can see, this is a perfect fit. It's straight, it's balanced. Let me see if I can get this. It's balanced, there's no gaps. So it's a perfect fit on the guitar. But the problem is that I botched the nut, or the nut slot. So yeah. So this would be the the other neck that I ordered, and you can see that the nut is where it should be, and they're very similar. Problem is that there's a gap, and I don't know if you can see that very well, but yeah. So there's a gap there, and yeah. Well, I mean, I pushed it all the way to one side, but there's going to be a gap on this. It's not going to be quite a perfect fit. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to try to repair that other neck with some putty, and I'll show you the putty right now. But I'm gonna try to repair it first before I start trying to toss that other neck out. I probably should toss it out because aesthetically it's not gonna look as nice. But I figured if it's already cut for the roller nut, and all I really need to do is fill in that gap, you know, we might have some intonation once I put this all back together. Obviously, if this is a lost cause and I can't get this neck to work the way I want it to work, then we're gonna toss this neck out, and then we're gonna try to install the other one, and hopefully maybe I can put something, maybe a very thin piece of wood or popsicle stick or something, or tongue depressor, something that will make this guitar neck fit better into this body. All right. So this is the putty I'm going to use. So let me just tell you the miserable story of this nut slot. I ended up having to get this putty to insert into the what I had sanded out, and I tried to put the height where it should be of the nut. So that worked fine, and as you can see, I mean, if we put that there, that almost works okay. Problem is though that this will not give you good intonation on this guitar. You will not be able to tune it up to where it needs to be because the roller nut is way too far into the neck. So where we need to be is approximately here. Okay, and I measured this. So the other neck was approximately 16 and 7/8. So as you can see, that is 16 and 7/8 going from the neck up. Okay, so what we're gonna try to do is we're gonna fill the old neck. We're gonna try to fill the old neck. We might end up using this roller nut to kind of guide the putty so that once it's in there, we can sand it down and then move it up to where it needs to be. It's not going to be a perfect solution, but this is probably going to be like one of my son's first electric that he could fiddle around with. He's probably not even going to take good care of it, you know, but at least it'll give him something to noodle around with and keep him away from my guitars. That's the important part. This is where we're at. So I put the putty on the neck where the nut slot used to be. So we're gonna let that cure for about an hour or two. But right now I can feel that it's already getting very hard. Obviously because it's putty, you know, I had a difficult time making sure it was the right size. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to sand down and make sure that we get 17 and 7/8 from the beginning of the fretboard all the way up to the neck slot, the nut slot. I had some extra putty left over, so I just started covering up the holes for this neck. And I did it because these holes are incorrect. Last time I tried fitting it in, the neck was crooked and the strings were off balance. So if for whatever reason we can't get this to work, we are going to have to install this one, and I'm going to have to figure out a way to make sure that the neck is balanced on both sides of the pocket. And if I have to compensate with it with something, I will. Just to make sure that we get that neck nice and straight. So it looks like I was able to wire everything all up. Used a lot of parts. And yes, my soldering is not the best, I know, but I think it'll work just fine. So we got the 3-way pickup selector. We got a kill switch, which I'm sure he'll love that. We got the tone and volume pots installed again. We got the pickups installed again. These screws, I was only able to find one pair of screws that go there, and these are probably going to need to be replaced, but for now I just needed something to mount the pickup with. I just want to test it and see how it works, and then if need be I'll have to buy new screws to make these pickups an appropriate size. Okay, a lot of less mistakes this time at least. So we got everything working. The new 3-way switch was installed. Volume and tone worked fine. Pickups worked fine. Lot of stuff I had to do to get there. So this pickup had its ground wire detached, so I had to resolder that. And then I had to find some pots. Well, actually, I getting the pots that originally went here back on there. And the kill switch now works as well. Now we're gonna have to go and see about the neck, because this is now rock solid. It's completely cured. So now I'm able to start sanding down and trying to see if I can get the correct measurements so that I can put in the nut, the roller nut. So we will try to start sanding down that, and then we will see how well that works out. So we got the neck mounted, we got the roller nut installed. We were able to shave off a little bit, and I even got a brown marker and marked a little bit up so that it would blend in with the fretboard. And the good news is that it's tuning up fine. Problem is that because this nut, I cannot get it completely flat. I mean, I've tried sanding it with the tools that I have, and I cannot get it. I don't know if I can show that very well, but that is not 100% flat. So here's the problem. Every time I pluck this string, for example, you're gonna hear ringing. And the ringing is coming from there. So although this one is sounding fine, bass string is sounding fine, the strings in the middle are going to be ringing. So my final verdict on this is that I just don't have the tools, or don't really have the time either, to sit here and try to get that thing super flat. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the other neck, and we're going to try to figure out a way how to center it, and then we'll mount it and tune it up and see how it sounds. Okay, so here it is, all complete. The Ibanez Gio Micro. So as you can see, the strings are on straight. This was accomplished by putting a little bit of scrap paper right between the body and the neck pocket and the neck joint, or tendon, I guess you can call it. I don't know. The kill switch works fine. The intonation's okay. Not sure. I mean, it sounds okay. It's plugged in right now, and that's clean. I like the sound of these pickups, actually. They sound better than what I remember. The kill switch works. Do you like your guitar?